Hello, everyone, and welcome to Coronavirus Update 29. I am Ryan Ferran, the Chief Communications Officer for the Arcadia Unified School District. Great to be with you. Just another information and update session for you via one of our typical coronavirus updates. Past few, it's usually myself and Dr. Vannasdall with a little Q&A to give everyone the latest information on where we are at with school closures. This time you'll hear from both of us, but it'll be a little bit different format. In our most recent board meeting on Tuesday evening, Dr. Vannasdall gave an update of where we are at to our school board in our community, which is streamed online. So we thought we would play that for you because he does a really nice job of explaining where we are at here in LA County and compared to some other counties and school districts that you may be hearing about. So he'll give us that information in just a moment. We'll play that for you. And then I just want to remind people that you can get all of our latest updates regarding school closures and the coronavirus where we are at on our website, ausd.net. And we also post our board meetings, which happen every other Tuesday. We'll post the latest live stream to the link so you can see those, and those are really good information pieces considering we have updates from a lot of different departments throughout our district giving the latest they have in their perspective with school closures and where we're at and where we are heading. So you can always find that on our coronavirus update webpage at ausd.net. The latest link to the Board of Education meetings, we post those for you, refresh those every 2 weeks, and you can get the 360 from different district departments throughout Arcadia Unified, so you can get the very latest there as well. So here again is Dr. David Vannasdall, our superintendent, updating our Board of Education and our community about where we are at with school closures and in comparison to everyone else, and he does a really good job explaining that process for us. So here you go. Here is Dr. David Vannasdall.
COVID-19 department updates. Dr. Vannasdall.
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening, everyone. Just as a reminder, we started these department reports back with our first board meeting following the pandemic, and especially our safer at home move back that started March 13th with the closure, the physical closure of our facilities. And just to recognize that, first of all, so many of our traditional means of communication, of being together in so many different formats and being able to share information is not what it used to be. And secondly, recognizing that things are moving rapidly. So the amount of information coming down from the state, information then being interpreted by the county, and then the local control that we have after that. Just things are moving quickly. There's a lot of information to get out. And so this is our opportunity to kind of do a 360. So I did want to start this evening by speaking on some realistic expectations of returning to school physically for our students. Because I just continue to, from a parent's perspective, understand how confusing a lot of this information is, especially people have friends or family that are scattered across California, and even locally, you may not drive very far, but you find yourself in another county. And it's really important to understand that each county right now, first of all, is experiencing significantly different impacts from COVID-19, from the number of hospitalizations, the number of cases per percentage of the population. And so we have to continue to speak about Los Angeles. That is the county that we operate in, and it's very specific. An example is, Orange County has been in a very low tier on the governor's tiers of how many cases that you have and how serious the restrictions have to be. And so Los Angeles County has been at the top tier, the purple tier it is, since we started this system. And so I just want to be clear that when people hear about their friends and their family and other counties, it's going to look very different as restrictions start to be limited or increase, depending on the county that you live in. So let me talk about LA County and where we are specifically now. Right now, according to our health department, and I'll say according to our health department right now, because things could change, but we are being told that based on the Board of Supervisors decisions and how they're interpreting the governor's new system, is that we have to be trending down in multiple variables from hospitalizations to COVID, the number of cases, et cetera. We have to be trending down for 2 weeks and actually hit the threshold of the lower tier. So we're in purple, there's a red tier. We have to hit that for 2 weeks before the county can move to the next lowest tier, which is the red tier. Once we hit the red tier, now this is for schools only, doesn't necessarily mean restaurants, businesses, then we have to maintain that status, again, with the numbers staying equal or going down, trending down, for another 2 weeks. So at the point that we're actually trending in a good direction, down on those numbers, it's going to be 4 weeks, a minimum of a month of that trend before the county will even begin to accept waivers. And again, that's very confusing because a lot of people have heard, well, the LA County is accepting waivers, TK2, to be able to return to school. And that's true, they're accepting the waivers, but they won't even look at them for approval for at least 4 weeks after we start that positive trending. Now, there's a couple more variables that come into play now at the local level. One of them, again, it's in LA only, so it's very confusing, but LA County has interpreted the governor's restrictions that we have to get written approval from our union groups. Again, approval, not just consult with them, but approval. And when I say that, that's not coming from the local union organizations that we work with locally at our sites and in our district. That's from the statewide organizations. And at this time, they haven't been willing to sign those. So that's another hurdle that we're looking at in LA. Another one that's specific to Arcadia is that once LA begins to accept applications for that waiver, and again, we're talking elementary TK2 only, they're only going to approve 30 per week, and that's 30 schools, not 30 districts. We're in a huge, LA County's massive with, hundreds of schools. So they're going to prioritize those schools based on free and reduced lunches. So the schools with the higher free and reduced lunch rates will get priority over others. We're currently about 78 out of 85 school districts on that prioritization list. That's from at the low end. So it's just, I just want to really be clear and set that realistic expectation that although we all want to be hopeful and people are hearing some good trends, we still have a lot of hurdles to get over before we would even begin to be able to plan. And what does that plan look like? Well, as we go down in tiers, the restrictions change and the protocols will be changing. Each time they'll be regrouping the health department and be deciding what the new protocols will be. So, to be able to share now, here's the plan for when we are allowed to come back, the plan's going to look very different then because the restrictions and the requirements, the protocols will be very different. So that's just, I keep telling people that, safety and health is the most important, and it is. I also recognize that this is really difficult on all of our families, our parents, our staff that are doing this very new teaching for the first time. And so I recognize how difficult this is, and at the same time want to be realistic in that we are going to be in this virtual environment for a while. And we'll be giving these updates, and when we know something, of course, we will be sharing it. But we're gonna be in this virtual environment for a while, and I think that's why we're beginning to see in a very positive way that our staff, our teachers, everyone's just iterating and continuing to find those best strategies in this virtual environment. And as we join classes and meet with principals and teachers, teaching and learning is happening. And I couldn't be more proud of our staff and our community. Everyone's stepping up, bringing their very best every day. And that's what it's going to take. And so we recognize that the virtual environment is not what it is when we're back in school and with those wraparound services and being able to be face-to-face. But with this environment and ensuring that we are safe and that we are doing our part this is, I believe, that our staff and our community and our parents are stepping up and doing the very best.
Okay, so once again, Dr. Vannasdall with the update for everyone, kind of with where we are at and where we continue to go and our progression through our school closures with all of this. Again, the latest information at ausd.net. And I also encourage you to go check out our social media pages. Recently, we've been posting Nice Notes, which is kind of a AUSD appreciation campaign for our incredible teachers and staff. These are some letters and notes from parents in our community showing their appreciation for our incredible staff, and you can find those on our Facebook page. Look for Nice Notes, the colorful letter templates that you can see there, and hopefully you give it a like and just see the appreciation being shared. And if you would like to submit one, there's a Google form. You can do that there as well. Thanks so much to everyone for your support. It's been tremendous, and we really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Until next time, I'm Ryan Ferrand. Again, AUSD.net for the latest coronavirus and school closure information.